Good morning, everybody. Jim here again, talking about my i4. One of the advantages that I get from doing these updates about my i4, I have the same for my Goldwing and my BMW bikes and other things that I talk about. But it is the responses I get from people which give me their experience. And one thing it tells me, I'm not alone if I have a problem, and also I'm not alone in liking the car. So, latest update is in the last 2 weeks we've not really used the car very much. The main reason for that is my wife has been pretty ill. She had one of the most vicious colds that I've ever seen. And because of that, I was using our other little car. I've got a little white Golf, and I was running around in that because I tend to use that a lot more than I use the BMW, just because it's an old Golf and full of mud and dogs and God knows whatever else, rather than the nice Beamer. But what that has done is let me look at what happens when you don't use the car as much. In fact, what I've been quite surprised about is how many miles we do just nipping in and around Inverness and going for walks and things. Anyway, so last week, Monday, Tuesday, the car had about 40% of battery. Can't remember exactly, but it was about that. And I think I drove it twice across the week, and I got to the end of the week and only had 38%. So I've done 40, 50 miles at the most. Hadn't lost a lot of battery, given it been parked up most of the week. So I decided on Saturday to charge it. So I charged it to 80%, and then took all the cables out, and I've left it, and it's been left until this morning. So it's Thursday morning now. So I took the cables off, I think Sunday. The car hasn't moved in that time. It had a 80% charge, and this morning my wife's just got in the car because she's better now, and it still has an 80% charge. So it's lost no battery over the 5 days it's been sat here, not doing very much. And by not very much, I mean it's running alarms, background electrical systems. The range is only showing at 160 miles, which is interesting because it hasn't gone anywhere. So that's interesting. It doesn't really lose anything. There's no. We've had some very, very cold nights, so it's been below zero most nights here. Been quite warm during the day, but very cold at night. I've had a few frosts, so I haven't seen any real drop off in range. The second thing is, I've had a couple of contacts now from people asking me about the range that they're getting, which is around about 200 miles. So if you're planning to buy an i4 and you haven't ordered it just yet, and you've done the test drive and you've listened to dealers and you've seen all the stuff, and BMW is saying you get between 300 and 330 miles to a full charge, that is a myth. That is a bit like saying a car will get 50 miles to the gallon, and then when you drive it you find it's 35. It is not a myth. It does not do anywhere close to 330 miles in a single charge. If you are doing steady journeys, by that I mean down the motorway at a steady speed, 60 to 70 miles an hour, you will get probably around the 300 mile mark in range. If you're doing what I call domestic driving, which is what we do most of the time, which is Tesco's and back, dog walks and back, B&Q and back, short journeys, 10-minute journeys, school run. We don't do a school run, you might do a school run. All those little domestic journeys that most cars get used for most of the time, you're looking at a range of around 200 miles to an 80% charge. Not 300 miles to an 80% charge. I get to an 80% charge indicated 175 to 200 miles, depending what sort of driving I've been doing. If I've been doing some longer miles, my range will go up. If I do a lot more short, it will go down. And also, as you've seen or heard, if it's sat there doing nothing, the indicated range goes down, although the battery stays at charge point. So this isn't the long-range car that BMW claim it actually is. Now that's what I get. I've now had two people come back to me and say, I'm only getting 200 miles, what do you get? And most interesting of all, my BMW dealer, the person I deal with, has an electric i4, and that's what she gets. We compared notes when I first got the car, because I said I thought this was going to do 300 mile range, I'm only getting 200 mile range, and she showed me her app and what her range is. That she does very similar journeys to the rest of us, domestic driving, school run, work and back, shopping, those things. The general domestic driving we all do, 200 mile range is what you're going to get. Now I can't do any comparison to any other car because the only electric car I've owned is my BMW. So I haven't owned a Kia or a Hyundai or a Tesla or anything else. Talking to Tesla owners, probably the only electric car owners I know, they do not tell me that story. So I don't know if this is common for all electric cars or just the BMW. But the BMW average range for domestic driving, I would say, is about 190 miles. If you are expecting 300 plus, you are going to be disappointed. Now, if anybody out there doing domestic driving, it's getting 300 miles, please get in touch. I'd really like to know. But I've not come across anybody yet who's getting that. And that's for the i440. So I hope you find that interesting. Certainly I find the fact the car sits there in multiple temperatures and not lose battery is good. So that's the fun for now. Still, come back to what I've always said. I really like the car. Love the car. Love driving the car. Love the electric of it. We've got used to, or getting used to, living with an electric car. So would I recommend it? Yeah, I would. I would absolutely recommend it. It just isn't what BMW say it is. Thanks for watching.